Hello my beautiful viewers! This week I come to you with just a life update. I really wanted to make a video about these like super delicious gluten-free vegan ice cream sandwiches that I practiced this week, but I did not have time because you know how it is when just life takes over and you just don't have time for everything that you planned. So you can definitely watch out for my gluten-free vegan, super delicious, super fluffy and soft ice cream sandwiches next week. And my life update is that I got a new job. I live in LA and I got a job at this restaurant called Hinterhof in Highland Park, which is a German vegan restaurant. I'm super excited to start there. It's a restaurant that does a lot for the community and they have a lot of open space, so it's really creating a place for people to be able to come together in a safe way because they're taking all the measures necessary, and there's just so much space for people to actually like not have to like be too close together, and also there's not a lot of customer employee interaction. That's like yeah. But anyway, and I'll be working on some creative projects there, so I'm super excited, and I'll be a kitchen leader, so that's awesome. Aside from that, I also bought a new car because like a car thief had crashed into my parked car like a couple months ago, and so I was just like, you know, living life without a car, and it was really cool because I was working with my boyfriend and we were just going to work together and just being at home, you know, staying home, staying safe, and so it wasn't an issue. But yeah, we just bought a car, and honestly it's been kind of a pain because it needed some things fixed, but my dad always reminds me that that's just life. Like, cars are a very easy way to lose some money, and that losing a little bit of money is not that big of a deal. A few $100s in life is just so microscopic. And so today, after the day ended and we got the last piece of bad news about the car that we just bought, we were like, okay, and we need to go into acceptance right away and go into being solution oriented instead of beating ourselves up about the things that we did wrong. It's just like, okay, let's learn our lesson and then like move on. So that was cool. In addition to that, I have been learning about how to help like the cats in our neighborhood, because we live in South Central and there is a lot of street cats, and those cats, especially right now, which is breeding season, like they just have babies like non-stop, and then there's like all these cute little kittens with like eye infections or parasites or like worms, and like the poor babies are like not healthy. So for the past few weeks I've just been like focusing on working with somebody that's been guiding me to put them into foster homes and to get them like spayed and neutered and like how to properly take care of them. And just so you know, I know a lot of people don't have jobs right now. If you are low income, you can actually go to the Animal Services website and apply for free vouchers to get cats spayed and neutered. So if you want to help your community cats or cats like anywhere, if you want to go looking for them, if you're trying to look for a way to help the community in general, or animal specific, or even more specific cats, I would really highly suggest that you apply for those vouchers and you take the time to take those little animals to go get spayed and neutered, so they don't just keep multiplying and then not having somebody to take care of them, basically. So yeah, today we took 3 cats to get spayed / neutered, and then just notified the people that are their feeders like how to properly take care of them, so that was cool. And then in addition to that, I'm always mentioning how we're trying to reduce like our plastic consumption, which it's always like a we go back and forth, you know, like we have our, we could say our vices of places where I'm like, oh, I just really want that thing and you know, I want to buy it, or sometimes we forget and we don't buy something in advance and so then we buy the plastic version. But we just found like a super cool brand that delivers in the most economical way that also uses like very little like gas, and it has a super low carbon footprint, including like all its delivery methods, including the packaging. Like everything's made of recycled paper, and it's, now I'm forgetting the name, but I will put it in the description below. We got a chapstick, we got a deodorant, we got a bar shampoo, a bar soap, and then in addition to that, from another company called Bite, which I'll also just put the link in the description below, they do toothpaste that comes in these little what's it called, like tablets. So you just buy half a tablet and then it like suds up in your mouth, and it's with charcoal, so it's also teeth whitening. So yeah. Oh, and then like right behind me, I don't know if you can see it, is our garden, which I will definitely not be taking credit for because mostly our roommates have been growing all this amazing food. They're growing tomatillos and tomatoes and zucchini and beets and basil and cucumber and peas. But I did actually spend some time in the garden because one of our roommates actually got COVID. Thank God she's totally okay, you know, it's passing and everything. But I had the chance to actually like trim back some of the leaves that were like turning yellow and water it and pull up the dirt, and it just felt so amazing to connect with the plants. Like it really brought me to this like very present, very like zen space, and I just felt really grateful that I kind of had the opportunity to step up and help in the garden. And I got to cut some zucchinis off and some cucumbers and some tomatillos. Some tomatoes were done the other day, and I have actually been kind of like growing some kale myself, and this is the first time I grow plants, and I've always felt really daunted to grow, not even just to grow, like let's say I have bought plants that then I put in my house and within weeks I killed them. So I kind of like wrote that off as like, okay, I'm a plant killer, you know, do not buy plants because you will kill them. And because supposedly I've really tried, but yeah, this time, you know, during the pandemic and having, or like the quarantine and having all this free time, I was like, hey, you know, I can't just write things off because something happened in the past. Like we have to keep trying. Like failure literally is inevitable, and the only way we're gonna get good at something is to get comfortable with failure, learn from the failure, and then like keep growing from that. That's how you get good at stuff, is through the practice, through the consistency. So yeah, I decided to try to grow some kale that had previously been grown in the front, and I pulled it out because it was all like dying and eating, and bugs had eaten it, and I actually brought it to life, which was incredible. And I also grew some tomatoes from tomatoes that I bought, and I can't believe it. And then I also have a butternut squash that I'm growing. That one takes a long time, but I actually have some tomatoes blooming, and then the squash has some flowers, so that's pretty cool. So in this time of the pandemic, oh wait, before I finish, I want to add one more thing. You know, before I was all about like, oh, like, you know, it's so important to like stay home and wear the mask and like all that to stay safe. And I do still think that. I think, you know, it's good to be respectful and to like minimize the risk and all of that. But I'm coming to this place where I'm realizing that I think, and I'm not saying this is like what is or anything, you know, opinions are constantly changing and we don't know like what's 100%, but I think that what I can really take away from this time, and maybe you might be inspired by it, is the importance of just strengthening our bodies and our mind, and we could call it our spirituality. And by our spirituality, I mean just like connecting to the oneness of everything, like to step away from that division of like, I'm this way but you're that way, like I'm better, you're worse, or like I'm worse, you're better. Like there's no better or worse, but just to kind of come back to that natural peace that we could have with ourselves and with everything that is, and that connectedness, and connecting to almost that like inevitable change that comes with everything, right? Like whatever's happening right now, like the pandemic, or like the way things are with like the division of race or whatever, like everything will come to an end and a new beginning will start. And yeah, so what we can, in addition to strengthening our spirituality, so that part, which I super highly recommend, the Power of Now. I want to like get into a 100-hour conversation about that right now, but I won't. But I'll tell you that that has brought me like tons of peace, and I really felt like my spirituality has grown from that. But also the strengthening of our bodies to, you know, we're smart. It's not like we don't know what's good for us. We know it's good for us to eat vegetables and to eat fruits and to eat nuts and seeds and to better organic, you know. And I'm not gonna say, oh, it's only gonna be like vegan or it's only gonna be this one type of diet, but like you just ask yourself, like, when, connect to your body, like when do you feel best? Is it when you eat like a sugary treat, or is it when you eat a salad? And then that kind of connects back to mental health and spirituality, that also the way that you think about something is going to affect your body and your experience a lot. So if you're eating a salad, or if you're putting the mask on, but you're really resisting it, or you're like hating it, or you're having some like really extreme opinion about it, then it is going to cause something in like the way that your body responds. Like your body will respond with like acid, because it's in like a negative state, which is ultimately affecting your immune system. And also your experience, you'll be attracted to those things that resonate with the energy that you're at, right? So yeah, in our bodies, you know, eating the things that we know feel good to us, and where we feel energized and that we feel strength in us. And in addition, like connecting with nature, like doing exercise, or like growing some of your own food, even if it's just that you grow one herb, you know, you gotta start somewhere. So there we go. We have, you know, mind, body, and spirit. And yeah, with that, I think we're good here. You know, I'm committed to having a video for you every single Monday. This is my video for this week. Thank you so much for watching. I love you so much. If you happen to be a new watcher, please subscribe to my channel. I have tons of amazing like cooking, vegan cooking videos, a few yoga videos, a few like, you know, hair beauty videos, some travel videos. If you did like this video, go ahead and give it a thumbs up. And as always, have a healthy, happy life. Yeah.